Hi and welcome back, guys. Hope you're all having a great day out there. We're back in the Midwest and we already have some breaking news to share with you here today as it relates to the market, XRP and Ripple. Some extremely interesting things being said, as well as we weren't able to get a video out yesterday as we were on travel. So I want to touch on a few things that were said from Jerome Powell that are incredibly important. I don't think are getting enough attention. Click that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and let's tell this world about the digital revolutions. We are up about 3% globally at the time of this recording. XRP doing a little bit of a pop, 2.5% at the time of this recording as this came out. Breaking ECB, President Lagarde says she's confident Bitcoin won't be added to reserves of any central banks of the General Council. Now listen very closely, and after this we're going to show you some clips on how this isn't just starting here today with this type of dialogue and the extreme closeness that she has in talking about Ripple and XRP. Let's get into this.
On this matter that you referred to, and whether reserves of central bank should or could include Bitcoins, I think there is a view around the table of the Governing Council, and most likely the General Council as well, that reserves have to be liquid, that reserves have to be secure, that they have to be safe.
Liquid, secure, and safe, like XRP.
That they should not be plagued by the suspicion of money laundering or other criminal activities. And as a result, I'm confident that reserves will not enter, that Bitcoins will not enter the reserves of any of the central banks of the General Council.
Now let's back that up, because she paused. She had to stop herself. She said, I'm sorry, not saying reserves won't happen, but Bitcoin specifically.
Reserves will not enter, that Bitcoins will not enter the reserves of any of the central banks of the General Council. I had a good conversation with my colleague from the Czech Republic, and I leave it to him to make whatever announcement he wants to make, but I'm confident that he's convinced, as we all are, of the necessity to have liquid, secure, and safe reserves.
Like XRP. Now, man, are the Bitcoin maxis pretty angry here today. As I want to play you this clip as a reminder, what she stated about Ripple. This is just one clip too. What she's recently, or what she had said about Ripple.
Because it's a bit of a striking, horrible word. But it's really what it means. It's you're going to disrupt your business model, you're going to change it, you're going to reduce your cost, you're going to expedite your transactions, and you're going to continue to inspire confidence because you will build that on the basis of an existing backbone, which is your bank and the confidence relationship that you've established with your customers. So that's where I see changes happening now. If you think of Circle and Ripples and all those, that's where they are active and helpful.
Active and helpful, and true disruption and change can happen, but it can't happen with Bitcoin, and that is by code. As also, I want to remind you of this, Jim.
So I think the role of the disruptors and anything that is using distributed ledger technology, whether you call it crypto assets, currencies, or whatever, and it's far from the Bitcoins that we used to talk about a year ago, that is clearly shaking the system.
I don't know how much more obvious it could be. Ripple is shaking the system and what they are providing the world with the XRPL and XRP being that native asset to disrupt everything. Now, Jacob King, this is, once again, Bitcoin maxis getting angry here today. Breaking. El Salvador ends Bitcoin legal tender status and halts purchasing BTC after 3 years. He states, El Salvador has officially revoked Bitcoin status as legal tender in order to receive a IMF loan. Now, let's pivot and change gears here, and let's talk about some bullish things with Ripple and XRP as Bank XRP put out. The CEO of Securitize discusses Ripple and XRP, explaining how tokenized treasuries are transforming the financial landscape and making real-world assets more accessible. Again, you're going to hear that a lot this year, especially from this channel, because I'm going to be talking a lot about real-world asset tokenization. That is going to be a huge driver of the entire market this year. But Securitize, before I play this clip, remember, Paul Atkins is on the board there. Paul Atkins, the guy who is taking Gary Gensler's place. By the way, I wasn't able to do a video yesterday. As we now know, Gary Gensler, everyone's favorite human being, is back at MIT teaching, and interesting developments there. But Securitize plus Ripple, tokenized RWAs, XRP. Let's check this out.
I'm Carlos Domingo. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Securitize. So I started the company in late 2017. Now that was like kind of the first wave of excitement about tokenization. Crypto was very small when I started the company. It was like a 20 billion industry. Now it's a 2 trillion industry. So when blockchain started, I just felt like this should be the same technology layer should be applied to regulated instruments to make them easier to transact, easier to trade, and easier to purchase. So here at Swell, we just had a panel focused on tokenization. What are the kind of asset classes that we think are going to be likely to be tokenized next? Today, treasuries obviously is the largest category. We've been having a relationship with Ripple for many years, so it's great to see how the company has expanded their vision from the initial work they were doing in cross-border payments into many other areas, including tokenization. So we're very excited about a lot of the discussions and potential partnerships that we're discussing with Ripple.
That's one thing that you find very interesting when you take a deep dive into the company of Ripple and you see just the massive amount of connections they have with those in the system right now. Paul Atkins, right? We take a look at Rosie Rios, the 43rd Treasury. When we take a look at the deep connections, it is just so incredibly obvious who is going to win long-term in this game. It won't be Bitcoin. Now, just in, Federal Reserve Jerome Powell says banks are perfectly able to serve crypto customers. Of course, this came out yesterday, but I want to play this as I do want to touch on this.
Our role with Bitcoin really is to look at, with crypto, really is to look at the banks, and you know, we think it's, you know, banks are perfectly able to serve crypto customers as long as they understand and can manage the risks, and it's safe and sound. As many of our, a good number of our banks that we regulate and supervise do that. You know, the threshold has been a little higher for banks engaging in.
Pretty interesting, isn't it? As this is his first meeting under Donald Trump and his tune is changing, you can tell he's a little more positive in talking about cryptocurrency under Donald Trump now, isn't he? Because he understands that this isn't something he's going to get away from. It's something he's going to have to embrace. As we remember, Bank of America CEO just about a week ago said the industry will jump into crypto payments if regulators will allow it. We know what the likes of Paul Atkins and those other regulators involved are going to do. Now, when you take a look at the price of XRP right now, I believe we're still going to see a lot of volatility over the coming days, but we are holding strong. That is something that you need to focus on and understand, is when we are seeing these pullbacks, even as we saw an opportunity under $3, that they are short-lived. And so if you are someone still trying to build your bag and dollar cost average and accumulate more, those are the times you have to get in, because they are short-lived and they do not last forever. That's all I got for you for now. Let me know your thoughts, your opinions in the comment section below, guys. I appreciate you all. We'll see you all in the next one.